Shealyn. And you are.
I'm Shea. Thank you. I'm Shea.
I had to prompt you. And I'm Shealyn.
And we are. Shea Scare. We're not good at this.
Why do we like have lines? I don't, even though I suck at lines, don't do that. People know by now.
So in this episode, we're going to be talking about The Shining.
Yeah, it's like my cool earrings. It was like a real up close and personal right there. Sorry.
It was very, very too close. I'm wearing the earrings you gave me. They don't have shining people on them, but they're the little hearts.
No. Oh, the little shells. I think they're shells.
Are they shells? Or are they heart? They look like hearts.
I don't know. I have purple ones. Did I send you pink or do I have the pink ones?
Pink. I have pink.
Okay, so I got purple. They reminded me of like Ariel, you know, little mermaid.
Right. It goes to my red hair.
Now sing the song on the rock. Yes. The Shining you chose.
Yes, I do enjoy that movie. I thought it was interesting. Stephen King did not like the Stanley Kubrick. How do you say his name?
Stanley Kubrick.
Okay, so Stanley Kubrick. Why can't I say that?
Kubrick. It's Kubrick.
Kubrick. Okay, so it's the Stanley Kubrick version because he didn't like Jack.
Like the character, or he didn't like? Oh,
he didn't.
Like Jack Nicholson.
We didn't like the character, the way the character was, because the character's not supposed to be so mean.
Yeah. I've heard horror stories about like how terrible he actually was, or like him and like the whole on set they were treating Shelley Duvall like,
yes, they sent her to like a mental break or whatever.
Which I mean, there's types of method acting, and I've also heard that Jack Nicholson's just a big dickhead because he did the same thing to Cher when I think she was cast to do Witches of Eastwick or something like that. I forget.
I mean, not to be mean, but look at him.
No, but he said like Cher's too old for this, and she was like only 35 or something, and she ended up getting the role, doing a great job. Like she kills it,
yeah,
you know.
She's fantastic.
And then she blew up. But he was just a hater. I mean, I always found him attractive until like he hit that point of no return. Like he's just like a slob, you know. Which whatever, own it. I would do that too if I had money. I always talk about that.
I'm just saying, like, he doesn't look like an approachable, fun person. Like, he looks very intimidating and very scary. So when you cast him in the role, I'm going, that's where he's going to take it.
Yeah. But some actors, you know, go a little method acting.
Right.
You can really lose yourself in the character. But I mean, that's probably what you have to do to be a good actor.
Sure. I don't know. I don't act. So
I couldn't do it. Somebody gives me lines and I'm like, no, I feel like an idiot. Whereas you picture him making this movie and he's like flipping out and everything, and you know it takes a certain skill.
I think he did a great job, but I found it interesting that Stephen King was like, no, I would prefer him to have been like, because he wanted the character to be not like lovable, but like more like human. Like he was a very flawed human. So, but he wasn't mean. You didn't already go you're like the bad guy. Like you rooted for him to not die is what you were supposed to do. But
that makes sense to me.
Yeah. In that Shining, you rooted for him, like, no, kill him, get rid of him.
Did you read that book? Are you going to claim that you read that book? Or
I did not read The Shining. Thank you.
I don't know what happened. I used to be so good at reading, and I've just fallen off. Shame on me.
There's other things to do. On social media.
No, I mean,
make pizzas.
It's right. I'm busy. Okay. It seems like, you would have wanted him to be a little more lovable so that then when he flips and turns into a dickhead, it's more of like a character development kind of thing, and not like we knew this was coming because he was an alcoholic who hit the kid, you know,
like beat his wife and stuff already. Like
it beat Danny, beat the little boy up. So or grabbed him once. I love how she's like justifying that. It's just such a popular thing for people to do, like, oh, it's, you know, he just grabbed him or there. I'm like, no, he's an alcoholic dickhead. Like, let's just, you know, leave him or something. That being said, I see a lot of myself in Jack Nicholson. Whereas I would sign up to do a job like this. Like I would go to a secluded hotel. This sounds magical to me. But I would probably just sleep the whole time because that just sounds great. But, you know, I mean, I kind of get it. Like she keeps walking in and she's kind of bugging him, like when he's trying to work, and then she just interrupts, you know, like she means well, but she needs a hobby or something, like to kind of get off him. So I wasn't that shocked when he flipped out, you know, but
so if anybody doesn't know, the Shining is about Stanley Hotel and this writer. So Stanley Hotel shuts down in the winter. I guess you can't get up there according to the movie or whatever in the winter. So it shuts down and it needs an innkeeper. So this writer who has writer's block has decided to take his family and volunteer or to get this job to be an innkeeper. And so he figures he'll have solitude and be able to write his novel. And it's not solitude because he's got an annoying ass wife.
I was going to say, he should have left his wife and kid at home.
Just left his wife and kid at fucking home. It's fine. And there's ghosts everywhere because it's a very haunted place, which in real life, the Stanley Hotel is in fact haunted. So there's that.
That's probably my favorite scene is when he's being a creep and the hot girl comes out of the bathtub and you see her bush, her like great 70s bush. And then he
just loves 70s bush.
I know, because I'm always amazed by it. I wonder if they added hair or something, like, or is that natural? I don't know.
It is pretty impressive when it's that full.
So I was watching it with my nieces because they insisted, because they've watched all the clips. You know, people share a lot of the scenes. And so they're like, oh, we really want to see this movie. And I was like, I don't think you do. You're young. It's very long. It's more, like you said, psychological. You really have to pay attention or you just won't really like it as much. You know, it's not one of those movies you can just catch. I mean, I leave it on in the background. It's a comfort movie for me because I'm a psycho, but it's just not the same if you've never sat there and watched it, you know?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so I'm watching it with them and trying to like get them into it kind of. And then that scene comes out and I'm very strict about no like sexual situations, anything like that. Because I don't want to be the one to introduce them to stuff like that. But I was like, this scene's okay. Because I know nothing happens. You know, she turns into the old lady. She's like, and it shows that if you're a creep and start trying to cheat on your wife, they're going to get a moldy dead woman from the bathtub and, you know, lose your mind. So I felt like it was a good life lesson to pass on to them.
It's true.
But it is a really like extended long scene where the hot girls like come because they want you to like be into it, I guess.
Right. They want you to be into it to be like, oh,
you know. That's why I was staring at it even more so because I was like, my niece is looking at me, you know, like I'm like, oh. And then of course it goes into that old lady, which is like, the skin and everything is that special effects makeup is incredible. It still haunts me.
It's not CGI, it's practical. Yeah. So you know that was like stuck on that woman.
I would hope it's a bodysuit and she didn't have to be naked. But
with like pieces attached to her.
I think it's an old lady bodysuit. You know, or do you think they just had an old lady and they were like, that's what I always wonder when you get cast, because I've been cast as people, you know, you're not always going to be the pretty one or whatever, but it's like, are you cast as like disgusting, moldy old woman, you know, or like,
like, what is my part? I'm the old decrepit lady. Cool.
Which I would love to play that, but I wouldn't want them to be like, okay, we can use your normal body, you know, I'd be like, cool, like, thanks a lot. I would hope that they would put me in a whole bodysuit or something. You know, they could probably use my same body.
Right. As you're getting up there in age. So
it's all downhill from here. Until we start working out and do our Halloween challenge. I know. I don't mind.
So in this movie, he stumbles into the bar because he's a recovering alcoholic. But what gets me is he's not too fazed by the other people who are not supposed to be there.
I know.
He's just like, hey, it's a party.
Yeah. Like, they said everyone left. I mean, I think by that point he'd already lost it.
Probably.
Maybe he was sleeping. I was gonna say maybe hadn't slept. I don't know. I feel like I'm fine with cabin fever. I've learned that during the pandemic. I loved it. I was like, I could stay home all day and, you know, just do my little weird things I do, my little craft and like writing and stuff. And so this is my ideal job, going away for, what is it, 5 months or 3? It's like
3 months, I think,
all winter
or whatever.
Yeah.
But here's a question. Okay, so the dude, let me get his name.
I would make them leave the booze though. Like,
because here's the thing: is also the little kid has some kind of psychic connection.
Yeah, the Shining.
It's called The Shining. They call it The Shining. That's why it's called The Shining. He's, you know, whatever. Yeah. So
Scatman Crothers.
Yes, Scatman. Why isn't he the caretaker if he's already there?
Because I think he's so freaked out. No, he leaves because he doesn't like to be there during the scary time. Because
he also has the Shining, because he talks telepathically to the little boy.
Telepathically, Danny. But yeah, you were close. No, I
Words are
think
not
the thing
working for me
is,
right now.
like, he believes, you know, that it's so haunted and people will lose their mind and kill people, that's why he doesn't want to be there during that time.
Because I was like,
Yeah.
you work there. Why? I mean, if you're already there.
Yeah.
So, but I guess
Also,
Stephen King had visited the actual Stanley Hotel. I mean, I watched a show and this is what they said. I don't know for sure. Okay, I can only go by what this most haunted America TV show I found on Discovery Channel said. Was they did the Stanley Hotel and they said that Stephen King had stayed there, and because the hotel is so vast and so big, he got lost in the hallways looking for his room, and it is haunted. One of the floors sounds like if there's nobody there, like 4 a.m., you'll hear children playing or giggling, and so the people at the Stanley Hotel think that that's where the idea for The Shining came from.
Okay. Yeah.
If it did. I don't know.
I feel like I see things all the time, and maybe I'm just, you know, I have this sixth sense. Yeah, I mean, usually it's that or lack of sleep or too much alcohol, you know, something along the lines. But, you know, like you could be walking. I freaked myself out. Recently, I was staying at a hotel. I told you about this.
Was it where you yanked the wall, the art off the wall?
I knocked it down with my
by the way, is
large luggage.
You sent me a picture of this thing. It's like 5 feet by 5 feet.
So that's the thing. Okay, I think I was set up for it because it was just leaning. So when I came out, because I have a lot of luggage, I have a lot of shit. Yeah. Sure. I have pizza dresses and ruffles and, you know, all this stuff. And I knocked when I got to my room after probably 8 martinis, which is a lot. You know, I think I should have died of alcohol poisoning.
I like that you had to clarify that was a lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like people might not
be good
drink
for me, but you're like, I had 8.
Yeah, because I was sitting with a fellow like bad influence, wonderful woman, but still I was like, oh God, two peas in a pod. And so I get to my hotel, I check in very late. I had booked this hotel because I had stayed there previously, but I guess they have 2 different buildings. So one is where I stayed before, which is like a nice kind of old Oasis hotel. And then I got put in the one that's above the nightclub. They came with earplugs, which I sent you.
Why would you even have that? Like, just don't have rooms there.
Exactly. And the thing is, to get to it, you have to go through the club. So like an asshole, I'm walking in. This was what? Saturday night with my giant luggage. I don't know where to go. They're like, when you see a security guard, just keep going. And I was like, what? You know, it's very strange. I go up to the elevator, which at least I had to use my key. So there's some type of safety, you know, but the lights in the elevator are like flickering. It's scary as shit. I'm also, you know, 8 martinis deep. So I'm like losing it. I walk out. I thought the art was a person because it was like just a black shadow. So I kind of ran and then I fell down and I could just picture them on the camera being like, this bitch, she doesn't even pick it up. And I was like, I gotta get out of here. Go into my room.
So did it fall? Like
it fell. Yeah.
Like that?
I think it was already just leaned up because somebody else had probably knocked it down. Considering the riffraff like myself is decent, they're like, it probably had already.
Maybe they should just not have, because it was a massive picture.
Yeah,
it's like 5 feet by 5 feet.
Giant canvas, but it also, like, I think when it was hung the next day when I sent you the picture, then it was okay. I think it was, unless I maybe just bumped it right off the fucking wall, but whatever. They didn't bill me for it yet, so we'll see. And then I get to my room and it was one of those rooms that like didn't have a light switch. I had to like go to each lamp. Oh my gosh, it was the scariest. And then I see the earplugs and it was like, what have I got myself into? I was also just into it. But
with the Stanley Hotel, if anyone goes to visit it, it looks beautiful. We haven't gone, but it looks beautiful.
We will go
at some point, yes. But there is no maze. Like in the movie, there's the big like hedge maze or
which I don't think I'd want to do. Would you be into that? Like
I went into a corn maze once, but I do that shit during the daytime.
Yeah, like that doesn't sound fun to me. And even when she's like, will you take me for a walk? Like, oh God, like walk yourself. You know, I guess she's just trying to be romantic with her husband. And then again, he doesn't seem like the romance type.
Right. Like he doesn't seem like, what are you trying to do? Like, he's clearly not that romantic. How did you guys, like, I want to know that backstory just from that movie, not the Stephen King version. I want to know the backstory of how Shelley Duvall and Jack Nicholson get together. Like,
yeah,
how does that work out?
Do they
was
even
that a
touch
one night
on it
stand and then that was an accident? I don't understand.
No, I picture it. They were together in high school. They're one of those, you know, and then they just stayed together, even though they changed as people, or maybe one didn't progress and the other, and then they just stayed together because, you know, they're married and whatever. And so by that point, they just like, he hates her clearly, you know, like just, I mean,
right.
I'm not going to defend him anymore, but it's kind of like, come on, she's interrupting. Like, I would be the same way. Like, you do that again, like, I'm gonna lose it.
Right. And I don't know how long they're supposed to have been there for. Because
by the time he like cracks, I think it says the dates. I think it says the months.
Okay, because I haven't seen it in a while. But
yeah,
I'm like, pretty how many sure because it feels like they're there for like a week and he loses it.
Yeah, no, I think it flashes and it either says the month or like how much time has progressed, and it's a while. Like, yeah, okay. He's already lost it. I mean, I would love it. I'd live in there and like picture, you know, fake bars and stuff. Like I said, I would insist they have the booze. I know they can't do that, but like, couldn't you have just snuck some in yourself? Like, you don't have to take all their booze, but then again, he's an alcoholic, whatever. And so,
like he didn't come with booze because he was supposed to be a recovering alcoholic.
Yeah, like when he says that, he's like, yeah, we don't drink or whatever he says. And clearly he's like, I want to fucking drink, you know?
Right.
But that's because he's Jack Nicholson.
And yeah, and then that one, why does he say here's Johnny? Like, what is that supposed to be Carson. Like Johnny Carson?
Yeah, okay. He used to always say that, or the announcer would say that before, but it is weird. I don't get that. Maybe if I read the book, I would understand it more, and someone could comment and tell me how dumb I am for not knowing that reference. But
whatever.
You mean this scene,
that very scene right there,
which has been, I feel like, you know, mimicked so much, which is great. And then she's trying to fit through that window. I don't know, like.
She's so skinny. Film. Why can you not get through the window? Like, that bothers me so much. Because like, if you're like, you clearly look like you
really
fit.
Small. It was like a doggy door.
I don't know.
She's thin,
and
but
then where is she? Like,
frame.
How is she? I mean, I understand your first thought is to get out.
Yeah.
Why is your first thought not where's your kid?
Because neither of them care about the damn kid. Like, I don't.
No kidding. Like, come on. The only person who cares is Scatman, who comes in the like freezing cold of the thing in the snow. Like, he's the only one who gives a shit about that kid.
I know, because Jack clearly has no relationship with them. It's almost like awkward. And the kid's scared, and then she doesn't want him to wake up the dad. You know, all this kind of like walking.
And it's almost like it's not his kid.
Yeah.
Like, you get that feeling. You're just like, you're like the stepdad that
that could be a thing, but it's not with them. Normally, if it's a stepdad scenario, they say that like over and over.
No, I know, but it's just like the feeling you get. You're just
definitely.
Like,
or Jack Nicholson's just a dickhead. You know, it's like there's no explaining it. He's just a dick, you know. But yes, but like,
and why is it coming out of his finger?
Well, I mean, he also says the guy lives in his mouth. So, I mean, are you gonna split hairs here? I mean, this kid's got issues. But maybe it's because he has a dickhead dad, you know?
Maybe that's where
and the dad hit him or something.
Maybe the kid has a psychotic break, and so now he's got this imaginary friend that lives in his mouth.
Fucking Tony.
Tony with the finger. Yeah. Maybe that's it.
Which we find out is like a thing, you know, he's not completely imagining it, because Scatman also has,
because now he can see the girls and they want to come play with us.
The ones that were murdered by their psycho dad. But then it ends up, okay, so explain this, and maybe I just haven't read enough about this film, even though I watched it all the time, you know, growing up and now. But so when the guy, the whatever you call bathroom attendant, is telling Jack Nicholson, like, you are, you know, like he thinks it's the other guy, and he's like, you killed your family, you know, and the guy's like, no, it's you. It's always been you. You've been the caretaker. So what is that? Did he kill that? Like, I don't get it.
I think what he's trying to do is, okay, so like ghosts, I guess, don't know difference in time, right?
Yeah.
Like they don't know it's a difference in time. So he's like, you're the caretaker, not realizing that maybe it's a completely different person with a different family, but it's like, oh no, you're the caretaker. The caretaker kills his family and then comes and bees with us.
No, but that's the guy who killed his family. But then when they flashed to the picture of the ball, the July 4th ball, which just celebrated the 100th anniversary, that's why my friend put my face on that lovely photo where I am Jack Nicholson, because, you know, I keep, now I'm like really going to look at myself later and be like, you don't want to be Jack Nicholson in The Shining. But consider this a warning, Nino. But yeah, so it's like, it was always him. And so did he already kill his, you know, there's a lot of ways to interpret it.
So it transitions like you're the groundskeeper, and then when you kill your family and then obviously you die and you become part of the hotel, you're now the bathroom attendant, or you're the head.
That sounds terrible.
Like a transition.
I always feel really bad for those people. Like they have to smell poop all the time, you know, like I don't
a real bathroom
when there's
attendant.
a bathroom.
Right.
When there is one, I make a point not to poop because I don't, that's like rude, you know, even if it's an emergency, I'll hold it, you know, unless I have money to tip them, like saying sorry, you know. Also, I don't like when there's a bathroom attendant. I get really awkward. Is there anything about what else from The Shining? I didn't take notes.
I didn't either, and that's okay. I feel it's fine.
So you were talking about how there's no maze, and that's because it was filmed where I always get these mixed up. So there is a Stanley Hotel, correct? But it doesn't look like the one in the film. It was filmed somewhere else.
I think so.
Like,
I think maybe the outside of it was like of the hotel, or like the pictures of the hotel. But obviously they filmed it probably on like a soundstage or something.
Yeah, no, I remember that. Or it's actually they filmed it. Where was it? I forget. I mixed them up. You got to put some facts.
I will say. So Jack Nicholson dies, Dan. Spoilers, sorry. And then Danny and Shelley Duvall, I can't remember her name for the life of me in this.
She's Wendy, sorry. He goes, are you a Winnie or a Len? She's like, a Wendy. Which she's very cute. I'm not hating on Shelley Duvall at all. I hate the weak character, but that's
it's very weak character. It's just like, okay, come on now.
Yeah.
But they survive. I'm super bummed that the guy who with The Shining,
Scatman.
Yeah, he did not survive.
He's incredible.
I can't remember his name in the movie though.
Yeah, I don't know. He's always Scatman in my mind. But yeah,
his character dies in the movie, and that makes me sad. I'm like, why couldn't he live?
Couldn't The Shining tell him? No, I'm just kidding.
No, I think Jack kills him.
Yeah, I know, because right when he walks in, I can picture it.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, dude, you killed off the wrong people.
I mean, he just wanted to kill everybody, I think, and find that babe with the bush in the bathtub, you know, before she.
Then he should have looked at the bar, because there were a lot of ladies. Okay, there was tons of people there. Look around; she was probably there somewhere.
Going back to the movie, all the food in there, you know, like seems great, but like, yeah, you got to cook it, you know, like nobody's there to.
Yeah, well, that's what I also wondered, because you have.
I love that
you have access to this massive kitchen. And you see them because they walk through the kitchen, you know, all like stalking each other as prey and shit. And it's like these like industrial sized fucking cans of spaghetti and pork sauce and shit. And I'm just like, there's 3 of you, but I'm just like, what are you guys eating? Because you're not opening that can because it's going to go bad.
I'm telling you, she opens a giant can of, I think it's fruit cocktail, and I just thought of like, remember that because growing up we
probably
would
eat that though,
and I love it. It's good. I kind of want to buy one, like in the syrup. It's in that fruit's probably not even real fruit. On that note, until next week, I'm Shealyn.
I'm Shay. So follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and like, subscribe, hit the bell, get some notifications on our YouTube channel, and join our Patreon page. So that link will be on our website at www.shayscarelounge.com. Not Shay's Scare Lounge, just Shay Scare Lounge.
I know.
Because as Shay has pointed out to me, Shay's Scare Lounge, all in one word, is really she care ass.
No, she ass care. She ass I was care. Like, how did you not see that it says ass care?
Shay ass care lounge.
Accurate. You know. All righty. Toodles. Yeah.
Tony keeps him out of trouble.
He's like salivating, like, yeah.